Dracula. The very mention of the name brings to mind things so evil, so fantastic, so degrading. You wonder if it isn't all a dream, a nightmare. But no, this is no dream. This is Dracula, the original terrifying story of a maniac after death lived on human blood and lured innocent girls to a fate truly worse than death.
Interviews with Monster Girls is perhaps one of the most charming and wholesome anime, not only on the subject, but in general. If you've watched enough anime, you know that Monster Girls tend to have a certain stigma to them. And while pure, unadulterated fetish fuel keeps a hot-blooded simp like me running, I can't help but love this series. While shows like Monster Musume or High School DxD scratch a primal urge that only Monster Girls can truly fill, this show is a palate cleanse. So turn off the lights and check under your bed, because the world is full of Monster Girls. I've had enough of Dinosaur Girls to last me a lifetime. But man cannot survive off of water alone. And in my desperate struggle to find some sort of meaning, I came across this series. Well, I came into this series looking for an oasis to wash away my 02 woes. I didn't find waifus. I found friends. I'm just fucking kidding. Look at this thick-ass succubus. Honestly, I'm not really sure what draws me into this series so much. It has no broad, overarching story. No end goal. Nothing to really keep me invested. No fan service, even. Hell, I couldn't even find any decent hentai to sneak into this video. Post them if you got them. But I tend to make a habit of coming back to this series every now and again when I just want to enjoy a simpler story that is, ironically, more human than most. There's a certain degree of reality that comes with this series. Sure, the girls are all mythological creatures, but at the end of the day, they feel like real high school girls. Oh shit, they won't take me alive. This show is a slice of life comedy. There isn't much else going on other than character interaction and development, but the things this show does is really endearing. It's the small details that help explain some of the problems these girls have, and how they struggle to fit into their society because of these differences, that make them feel wholly conceptualized instead of monster girls for the sake of being monster girls. Kinda weird how these monster girls want to try to incorporate themselves seamlessly into our society, but there's groups of people who aren't even capable of doing that. While on the topic of monster girls, I guess we gotta talk about some. For a series all about them, there isn't a whole bunch of them. And that's to the series' benefit. We need a swamp creature girl, a mummy girl, a reanimated corpse girl, a werewolf girl, whatever the fuck the thing is, girl. All in all, there's only 4 main monster girls. I know the politically correct term is demi. I just don't give a fuck. They are a Dullahan, succubus, vampire, and Yukiana, respectively. Using advanced calculations and the scientific method, I have deduced the order in which we're going to talk about these characters. Which ones I like the least, which ones I like the most. Kyoko Maki. It shouldn't come as much of a surprise that I like Maki the least. I think I've only used her picture like twice this entire video. Almost all of her interactions with the rest of the cast are just gags about her head and or body, and all of her character involves her head and or body. Much like her entire gag, she's just kinda along for the ride. Get it? Because Doulahan drive wagons. 3.7 out of 5. Yuki Kusakabe. Alright, don't get this shit twisted. I like Kusakabe a lot. But when there's only 4 characters in your entire ensemble, somebody has to be the Ringo, and somebody has to be the George. Now, I'm not a big fan of One Direction, so this analogy doesn't really work. Now, Yuki tends to be rather reserved and likes to keep to herself. She's rather closed off to most people, and this is a result of her fear of accidentally freezing people, like the myths of her, I want to say, race? Myths about the Yukiana include, but are not limited to, luring men to their deaths by freezing them, causing blizzards, and other bad snow-related things. I kind of have a soft spot for these shy and timid characters, as it tends to make their social ineptitude pretty damn adorable. Once Yuki warms up... Get it? Actually, I don't. Once she warms up to the rest of the cast, she is just a joy to watch interact with the rest of the cast. She even lets Hikari give her a hickey. 8.5 out of 10. Hikari Takanashi. My lawyer told me to say this. I can't in good consciousness give a 15-year-old lolly my #1 pick. Mainly because the competition is one thick. Hikari has this energetic, bubbly personality, which is quite infectious, and out of all 3 of the high schoolers, she is definitely the most interesting to watch. Be it her gnawing on her sister's arm or her general antics, she's always up to something, and it really helps cement her as an interesting personality in the series. She has such a genuine and honest heart, and always speaks what's on her mind, or even the minds of others, which helps keep cast drama to a minimum. Just look at her character design. Her hair looks like fucking bat ears. 4.2 out of 3. Saki Sato. How old is she? I don't want another Sword Art Online situation. 24. Oh boy, it's time to play ball.
Oh, that's a baseball!
Saki is pretty much the character traits that I adore in Yuki, placed into a thicker, more legal variant. She's this shy and awkward woman who is desperate for love and affection, but can't get any because she's so damn thick that she has her own gravitational pull. Her body produces aphrodisiac pheromones due to her nature as a succubus, so she can't touch men without giving them.
Houston, we have no problems.
I actually really enjoy her introductory episode where the audience just kinda tags along with her life. We witness her struggles firsthand, the steps she takes not to inconvenience anyone due to her biology. She takes a shower. Is there an anime shower wiki? Why do baths get all the fun? Saki continuously shows her sometimes petty nature when faced with mild hindrances to getting with Tetsuo, and it makes her all the more enjoyable whenever she's on the screen. 9.75 out of 10. I'd talk about Tetsuo, but this show's called Interviews with Monster Girls, not talking about normal-ass people. Okay, real quick. Tetsuo is this absolute unit of a man that is not so secretly just a giant teddy bear. He's kind, compassionate, and understanding, always seeking to accommodate and aid his 3 little monster girls. He's pretty much like a father for these girls, and it's really heartwarming to see how much he really does care. But he's a dude and not actually JoJo character, so 2.9 out of 8. If they ever end up making a season 2 of this anime, I would love to come back to it. But it seems like A1 is busy with whatever the fuck they're working on. Darling in the Franxx 2 taking back New York from the sounds of it. So I'm not really holding my breath on that one.